Hey folks, how you doing? Dave McRae here. Okay, in this video, I want to talk about... I got to rant about this. I got to get this off my chest. Bring some McRage at you. Okay, so I want to talk about Rotten Tomatoes scores and the perception that movie fans seem to have with Rotten Tomatoes scores, and how ratings don't really mean anything anymore to movie fans, it seems. When it comes to critics and ratings, and how we live in this world where everything is either a 10 out of 10 or it's shit. There doesn't appear to be any gray area. There's no room for, give and take. You can't say, no, I enjoyed it. I liked it. No. Oh, so you didn't like it. No, I liked it. I thought it was all right. Oh, so you just thought it was all right? No, I thought it was good. It was good. Yeah, I thought it was all right. So you didn't really like it. That's why, now I don't do formal movie reviews on this channel, but if I did, I would never give ratings out of 10. I would never say, it was like, an 8 out of 10. Because an 8 out of 10, not to everybody, but it seems like to the vast majority of movie fans now, is a dog shit rating. It's dog shit. It means it's fucking shit. So when somebody asks you, so what would you give it out of 10? They're not really looking for what you would give it out of 10. They're looking for you to say 10 out of 10. Because it seems like, if somebody just likes a movie, that was a really good movie. So what would you give it? 10 out of 10. You're throwing 10 out of 10. I mean, 10 out of 10 is thrown around now. It's just, it doesn't mean anything anymore. It has no meaning. It's just tossed around. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what 10 out of 10 means in the literal sense? 100%. It means that there is literally nothing wrong with the movie. Even Kubrick movies, you could look at and go, well, you know what? Maybe he should have done that. Or, maybe they could have done this. Very rarely, very rarely in motion pictures is a movie literally a 10 out of 10. 100%. Nothing wrong with it. Unequivocally perfect. Perfect. Everything was perfect. Absolutely perfect. There was nothing I would change. Now, again, this is all subjective anyway, okay? Because what I like, you may not. What you like, I may not. So at the end of the day, I understand that a lot of this is subjective. But I find it very fascinating. You know what John Carpenter said in an interview some time ago? I forget how long ago this was now, and I'm going to paraphrase what he said. But he's absolutely right. 100%. He said something to the effect of, most horror movies are bad, are terrible, are shitty. And he's right. If you think about it objectively, most horror movies suck. Even fewer are not bad. Not bad. Not bad. Even fewer than that are pretty good. Okay. And the fewest, even fewer than that, very rarely, is a horror movie fan-fucking-tastic. Brilliant. Not good, not merely good, not pretty good, brilliant. Brilliant. He's right. And yet we live in this world where we're tossing 10 out of 10s around like it's nothing. Oh, 8 out of 10? Oh, no. It's fascinating. It would just be so nice to gain some perspective again. To go back to something a little more manageable. Rather than, 10 out of 10 or shit. Because 8 out of 10 is shit. 7 out of 10 is shit. If there's a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, it's shit. There are actually people that believe that if a movie gets 70 or even 65% on Rotten Tomatoes, oh, I guess it wasn't very good. What are you talking about? The vast majority of critics loved it. Thought it was all right. Thought it was pretty good. I'd give anything to have a major motion picture on Rotten Tomatoes right now with a 65%. Wouldn't you? 12%? Yeah, okay, not so much. 20%? Yeah, okay. Anything 60 and above, it's pretty good. No, shit. Shit. 88? Shit. The fuck you talking about? Halloween 2018 right now on Rotten Tomatoes has 81% as of shooting this video. 81%. I saw online, somebody was like, oh, this pisses me off. I'm like, it pisses you off? That's 81%. As of right now. Now that could go up or go down, but as of right now, the average score is 81. That's fantastic. For a Halloween movie, that's fucking amazing. If you had asked me 6 months ago, what would you love to see from Halloween 2018 on Rotten Tomatoes, I'd be like, oh, I think anything 60 and above would be great. Look at the reviews of the Halloween movies by and large. Any horror movie that gets 60 and above, that's good. That's good. Our genre, our horror genre fans is not respected like we want it to be. Anything 60 and above, that's great. 81% right now? That's amazing. Rotten Tomatoes is not a person. It's not a judge. Okay, Rotten Tomatoes is a website that takes a bunch of professional movie critics, okay, ones that are approved and ones that are known in the pop culture consciousness, some that are labeled as top critics or, whatever it is, ones that could have influence on their respective worlds, okay? Hair around here, cat hair. They take the average and they give you the score. Rotten Tomatoes in and of itself is not evil. It's just a website. And they take that average and they give you the score. Professional movie critics and pundits, for the most part, when they watch a movie, they can watch a movie and enjoy it for what it is and be a fan and get all giddy and fanboyish or girlish and just have some fun. Absolutely, of course. But if they're watching a movie specifically to critique it and to write about it, maybe if it's, even if it's high profile, they are watching it with a different eye than the average movie fan is, okay? They're studying the narrative, the composition, the cinematography, the performances, the pacing, the editing. If anything stands out as awkward in terms of the first three acts, there's only 3 acts, in the first act and the second act and the third act. They're critiquing the movie. The average movie fan is not looking for those things or cares about those things when they go and watch a movie. Now, if some of those things that the professional critics are talking about and analyzing and critiquing, if they're really bad, then they will even stand out to the average movie fan. And you'll walk away going, oh, fuck, I don't know what happened. Like the ending just kind of went down because it was so bad. Everybody is noticing those things, right? But that's why you will get such an extreme sometimes on Rotten Tomatoes where you'll have 90% of the critics loved it, but you'll get like a C+ on CinemaScore, which we'll talk about in a minute. I'm not saying that, when there's a 95 or a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes that means, the vast majority of the average movie fan is not going to enjoy it. No, I mean, there's a high probability that they will. But they're not mutually exclusive to each other. Okay, and we've seen it time and time again that more often than not, you will see a score on Rotten Tomatoes that doesn't necessarily reflect the general consensus of the average movie-going fan. And that's by and large because they're looking at different things. They're thinking about different things when they're watching the movie. I'm not saying don't pay attention at all to Rotten Tomatoes. That's not what I'm saying. But so many people put so much stock into it. And I get it. I mean, they're marketed as, oh, if Rotten Tomatoes says this, well, then, But it's not black and white like that. The score that the average movie fan really should be paying attention to is CinemaScore. Because CinemaScore takes stands at the actual doorway of the movie theater. And when the crowd is leaving the theater, they poll you, they ask the fans, what did you think? What would you give it? You know, an A, a B, a C, a D, whatever it is. And they come up with an average score. Average, you know, cinema. That's why you can have a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes and like a C on CinemaScore, or the reverse, 54% on, Rotten Tomatoes and like a B+ or an A- on CinemaScore. Because the vast majority of movie fans are not watching the movie for the same reasons or in the same ways. Okay? They just want to be entertained. Was it a good movie? Was I entertained? That doesn't mean that there aren't certain fans that may have an eye for filmmaking and for certain things that might bug them or really enjoy. But the average fan just wants to be entertained. That's why 10 out of 10s are thrown around so easily now. And if you say something was an 8 out of 10, it's like, oh, so it was shitty? What do you mean shitty? It's 80. Don't be that kid in class. Okay, don't be that kid in class. I remember when I was in math class. All right. And there was this kid that sat in front of me, and the teacher was handing back the math tests. And I was atrocious in math, failed grade 10 math twice, went to summer school, failed it again. I was atrocious in math. And there was this kid that sat in front of me, and the teacher was handing back the tests, and I could see his shoulders go, like this, when he got his test back. And I was like, oh, geez. And he was a kid that got 98, 90, 900 all the time. And to see him go, it's kind of like, oh, fuck, like what happened, right? Like, holy shit. So I tapped him on the shoulder and I'm like, dude, what happened? Like, okay. It's like, yeah, I didn't do well. And I'm like, oh, man, like, wow, this is amazing. What'd you get? He's like, 97. I'm like, 97? I get that it's all relative, okay? That if you're used to getting 98s and 99s, the second you get a 95, suddenly it's like, oh my God. But you got to put things in perspective. An 8 out of 10, if I was to give, any movie an 8 out of 10, that's a great score. That means that it's really good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, but there's some things that maybe I wanted to see that weren't there, or, I would have done that differently, or, that was a little weak, whatever. But at the end of the day, overall, it's great. Good. Yeah, really good. And it's just, I find it funny how we're in this world now where so many movie fans put so much stock into Rotten Tomatoes, and there's a reason for that, but you have to understand that they're analyzing the film, okay? There's certain things that they look for: story structure, narrative, pacing, performances, music, cinematography, directing. Does this work? Is the second act stronger than the first act? Do you think about those things when you're watching a movie? No, you don't. The average person. Okay, I'm not saying that some people, I'm just saying, you get what I'm trying to say, right? That's why CinemaScore you should pay attention to, because that's your fan score, okay? That will give you a better idea of, that's why, how many times have you looked at a score on Rotten Tomatoes and been like, what the fuck they talking about? I thought it was great. Or what the fuck they talking about? I thought that was shit. It doesn't mean that the critics are wrong. I'm not saying that. There are certain things that they will talk about or mention that I'll look at and go, well, I like the movie, but I totally get what they're saying. I agree with what they're saying there. Or I didn't like the movie, but I can see why they did. I can see why they would make. Do you know what I mean? So it's just funny to me. Yeah. So anyways, that's my rant for today. And it's one of the reasons why I will not give a rating out of 10. Because it doesn't mean anything to the average person. It means nothing. Because we live in a day and age now where all 10 out of 10 means is that you liked it. Because we throw around 10 out of 10s like it's nothing. There is no meaning to a 10 out of 10 anymore. It used to mean something. But if I can say 8 out of 10 and you go, oh, so it's shitty. No, 2 out of 10 is shitty. 4 out of 10 is shitty. 8 out of 10 is fucking amazing. Let's put things in perspective here, right? Anyways, folks, my name's Dave McRae. Comment below and let me know your thoughts. If you want to follow me on Facebook, you can at facebook.com/manythingsdavemcrae. That's where you can follow me in the meantime and in between time when I'm not posting here, because that's where I tend to post. As well, if you want to help support the channel each and every month via Patreon and get in on some Patreon goodies, that link is in the description too. So yeah, until next time, I will talk to you guys soon. Oh, man. Cheers.